Hey there, Jenny Field here. And today I'm going to introduce you to Christine Jensen with Fairway Mortgage Reverse Division. And we're going to be spending a little bit of time on, and I loved her, her title was a great title. It's called The Care and Feeding of Your Reverse Mortgage. And it's a really interesting topic for me, specifically because it speaks to the whole issue of how do you know where things are on your reverse? What happens if you have to leave the home for a period of time? What should you do? And this is just a 10-minute long video, but good information. Her contact information will be at the end. I hope you enjoy because it's important to pay attention to. Hey everybody, Jenny Field here, and I am very excited that I get the opportunity to talk to somebody that I think is awesome. I gotten to meet her recently, and she's just really smart and really great. And this is continuing in my concern about the myths of reverse mortgages. So Christine, would you introduce yourself a little bit, and then let's talk about this, because we have something really fun to talk about.
Jenny, it's such a pleasure to be here with you today. As you mentioned, my name is Christine Jensen. I'm a certified senior advisor. I'm a certified reverse mortgage professional, and I'm a senior vice president at Fairway Independent Mortgage. I am a specialist in reverse mortgages.
Well, you and I were chatting before we started. Thank you for that. And by the way, everybody, her contact information will be at the end of our video, like always. But you had this, we were talking about what should we talk about? And I shared a point with you that I had personally experienced here in my community, because as you know, I do a lot of real estate for seniors. And you had a brilliant topic, and that's what this topic's going to be. And it's called The Care and Feeding of Your Reverse Mortgage. I think that was a brilliant title. I couldn't have done better myself.
Right. Whenever you get a pet or a plant or anything, any new acquisition, somebody needs to teach us how to use this thing, right?
Absolutely.
And that's what we're going to talk about today.
And my concern, as you know, has been situations where someone got sick. And because one of the things they tell you when you're going through the process, if you abandon your property, blah, blah, blah is going to happen. So there are things that I think there are steps that should be taken by the borrower and maybe the borrower support system. So could you talk about that, please? What are the important things we have to think about? I've got to feed my plant. Talk to me about that.
Absolutely. So a couple of things. When you get your reverse mortgage, the fun is just beginning, because there's so many protections that have been built into that product for you. And we want to make sure that you understand all of the protections that are available to you, and that you can access all of the benefits that come as a result of having a reverse mortgage. So the whole process begins with simply looking at your monthly statement. Okay. Right. That monthly statement that you receive has the key to all the mysteries of the universe on what your reverse mortgage is and how it works. Now, some of our clients, they just love getting that paper statement in the mail every month. But for those of our clients that are more technologically advanced, they can go online and set up an online account. But that monthly statement will give them a report every month of how things are looking.
Right.
Okay. Now, is there money available in my line of credit? How did my interest rate change this month? What's my new balance on my mortgage this month? How do I have any disbursements that have come out for taxes or insurance? I also love that included with every monthly statement is a page 3, which is a draw request form. Super simple. If you want to take a little bit more money out, all you do is fill in the amount that you're looking for on that draw request form and send it in. But that monthly statement has a snapshot. Think of it as your dashboard of how your reverse mortgage is looking today and what's available to you whenever you want to use it.
I love that. I love that. Now let's talk about, and I said this to you earlier, one day, because nobody gets out of here alive, one day I'm going to be old and crumbly. Let's say something happens to me and I have a reverse mortgage and I have to go into a rehab facility of some kind for a period of time. There are people that have read, when you abandon the world will end as you know it. Talk to us about that, because that's such an important thing. And what should somebody do?
Yeah. So important to understand that there are protections that are in place that are going to make sure that everything is okay, because it's really common for people in our age group,
Mhm.
once we get up to the age where we qualify for a reverse
Right.
mortgage, medical events are going to happen, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Somebody's going to fall and have an injury, and they're going to need a little time to recover, so they might need to be away from their home for a short period of time while they recover. So there are protections in place, and it says it in black and white in all the reverse mortgage language, in all of the written documents. You have up to 12 months when you
Mm.
have a medical event. Okay.
Oh.
So let's say you fall and break your leg. Okay. So you get the surgery to repair the injury, and then you're going to be in the hospital for a little bit, but then you're going to need some recovery time in maybe a rehab or a long-term care facility so that you can get your strength back, with the eventual goal that you're going to move back home and live independently once again. But you need that recovery time. So you have up to 12 months. But did you know that even if you get to the end of 12 months and maybe you had some sort of setback, but are still confident that you're going to make it back home,
Mm.
then you can simply apply for an extension.
Ah.
The key is to communicate with
Yeah.
your servicer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. If
Yeah.
you simply call them up and say, "Hey, I had an injury. I'm going to be 2 or 3 months at the care facility while I get my strength back, but I'm planning to go back home." And then, if a setback happens, you get an infection while you're there, and your treatment's going to take a little bit longer, whatever. As long as you are communicating with the servicer, you've got up to 12 months with no questions asked. And then once we get beyond 12 months, now to get an extension, yes, we're going to have to. But generally speaking, 12 months more than covers
Yes.
most of the injuries that happen.
But you touched on the most important thing, and that's talking to somebody.
Mhm.
Talking to the servicer, making a call to the servicer, and giving them a heads up that it gets on record, so that there's not an assumption of abandonment of a property.
Right.
That's the fair assumption. So if you're not abandoning the property and you're communicating with the servicer,
Exactly.
then you're going to be okay. Because
Yeah.
that's where I've found the problems, is that people have not done a great job of the communication piece.
Sure.
And as you know, I also know agents don't understand how it all comes together, how it works. But, you know,
Mhm.
important to, and here's something that I personally have done in my own situation, because my daughter's my successor trustee. All of my important paperwork, including a comment, like if I had a reverse mortgage, including a comment says,
Mhm.
if something happens to me and I'm incapacitated, call these people.
Yes.
See how easy it can
Exactly.
be? Because if something happens to you and the whomever the inheritors are don't know,
Mhm.
then the assumption is going to be not what you want to have. Brilliant, brilliant,
Exactly.
brilliant.
Yeah.
What other brief care and feeding comments would you make, do you think, that are important?
So we talked about what happens if someone has some sort of illness or injury and they have to be away from their home for a period of time while they recover from their illness or injury. But what if someone has to be away from their home for a period of time for repairs that are needed to the house,
Ah, yes.
right?
Hmm.
You live in California, so you're very familiar with wildfires. I'm in Colorado, also very familiar with wildfires and other events. Not far from where I live, we had some terrible floods a couple of years ago. And sometimes those repairs can take a very long time, and you're
Mm.
not able to inhabit your home while those repairs are going on. So, again, the key is call the servicer and tell them, "Hey, let me tell you what's going on. You might have heard that there was a fire in my area. My house was destroyed or significantly damaged. So just want you to know I'm staying over
Mhm.
here at my daughter's house for a
Yeah.
little while the repairs are going on. So here's how to reach me. Here's where you can send my mail for a little bit of time. And here's my plan for getting the repairs done." As long as you are keeping the servicer informed on what's going on, then everything continues just fine.
And all the benefits of, as you know, I'm a big fan, because it's, my favorite thing in the world is when I teach a class and I have somebody that didn't know enough or didn't like them, say, wow, this is a
Mhm.
game changer, because it really is. And
Mhm.
I did not know about, I mean, because the assumption is the world ends when you have a fire and your home is damaged. If something, it doesn't when you have a reverse, that I'm going to rebuild, I'm going back home, just communication. So
Yeah,
communication is the key with all of this. Well, Christine, you're
absolutely.
you're the best, honey. I so appreciate you. And it was fun to see you again. It's been a while. So thank you. I'm going to continue on this path. I appreciate you and your knowledge so very, very much. And I love the title of our video.
Happy to help. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christine. Well, I hope you learned something. Please make sure that you can connect up with Christine. Her contact information is coming up. And don't hesitate to reach out to me. And don't forget, subscribe. I have a lot more coming up. I can't wait. And I'll see you again very, very soon.